Hello, and welcome to Maidens of the Spear, where we talk Wheel of Time, and we have a really good time. And this is another installment in our What So This Then?
What's all this then?
This is our What So This Then series. These are videos that are spoiler free for new viewers of the TV show who can come learn about the world of the Wheel of Time without spoiling the story. If you have questions, if you are like watching the trailer, you're watching some episodes, and you're like, what's that?
That guy's
Um,
scary. What's he do? What's
that
his
guy's
name? What's his
Skelly.
whole vibe?
So
We
today
got
we're
you.
talking about Shadowspawn.
That's right.
Shadowspawn.
Consider this your Shadowspawn 101, baby.
Yeah. Oh, monsters. And we're only going to talk about three kinds of Shadowspawn today. Uh, this will be a little spoiler. There might be more kinds, but these are the ones we think you'll see in season one,
hmm
and that you'll probably want to know a little bit more about. So, number one, who we got, Mary Lou?
The first Shadowspawn that we encounter, well, it's actually not the very first in the books, but the first that we see up close and personal is the Trolloc. And the Trolloc
Boom.
is a big, bad man animal thing. It's about
Hmm.
8 feet tall, strong,
Oh, they like 10 feet
humanoid,
tall.
7 to 8 feet tall, big,
10
gnarly,
feet tall, Mary Lou.
ultra
Why are you going
strong,
shorter?
ultra big. Um, they are gnarly, 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 and they are men with the features of animals. So you might see this one, for example, the snout and horns of a goat with hooves, or you might see one with the muzzle of a bear and claws, or a falcon's head and sharp beak and talons.
Hmm.
They come in all different terrifying flavors, and they are forged in the depths of Shile Ghul, which is
Child
the Dark
goo.
One's prison in the north, in the Blight. Who's the Dark One? Exactly what he sounds like. He's the biggest bad there ever was.
We
He's
we'll do like a full on like who is the dark one, I think. Another time. Um but yeah, he's the big bad.
the
He's
biggest
the
bad.
Sauron of this universe. Um
Absolutely. So these creatures serve the darkness. They have been turned from the light. Much like another kind of evil creature that we know, you can think of these guys as very similar to the orc in
yeah,
Lord
they're
of the
basically
Rings,
orcs.
right?
Yeah,
Formerly men, now twisted creatures serving evil, serving
they and
darkness.
what else are they serving? They're serving some human stew because
Yeah.
they got big old cook pots and they'll cook
hmm
anything.
They cook
Any animals they
anything.
find, humans, dead, Trollocs,
Yeah, they
uh,
eat each other.
they eat each other, and
They glory in pain and killing. They
mm,
love killing. They love pain. They are bad guys, and we don't have
mhm.
to feel bad about murdering them.
Nope. They should be murdered, in fact, because they're bad guys. And let's see how you might have already encountered Troggs if you've watched the Wheel of Time trailer. Yeah, that's it. That's all you got. That tiny little
Terrifying.
bit. There's like one shot of like a hoof. Um, there we go. You can see like all the horns and these twisted bodies. Um, that's Trollocs, baby.
That's
But
Trollocs.
Trollocs are uh they're pretty clever and they are big. They're big and strong. So they're very hard to kill, but they are not really the best commanders. They're not the ones
No.
doing the strategizing. No, no,
No, they're
no.
strong. They come in fists like legions. They do have language and a bit of culture. They have different clans.
Hmm.
And while they are clever and tricksy, they're not very loyal. They're not very dedicated, and they're not very long term thinkers. So they have other creatures to do their thinking for them. Sarah, what are they called?
They're called Myrddraal. And I'm gonna spell that
Myrddraal.
for
And
you.
as they say in the Borderlands, the look of the eyeless is fear.
Hmm.
And why are they called the eyeless? Because
They're
they
called the
don't
eyeless
got
because they don't got
eyes.
no eyes. And look at how you spell this, Myrddraal. Audiobook listeners who are trying to
Myrddraal.
like Google these creatures, or if you're a watcher of the show and you're like, wait, I heard them saying Myrddraal, but I like can't get any Google results to turn up because you're not spelling it right. They're also called
Mm-hmm.
Fades, the Eyeless, Lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
and they inspire fear in anyone who is unlucky enough to look at one. And
Now they are called the eyeless because they are canonically described as looking exactly like tall men with
mhm,
white, clammy, pale skin, the skin of like a dead fish. And where there would have been eyes, there is absolutely nothing.
not
Just
even
skin.
sockets.
No empty
Um,
sockets, no nothing. Just
yeah,
flat skin where there would be eyes.
yeah.
Their black cloaks hang steady in gravity. They don't shift in the wind ever.
hmm Yeah, and if we were going to continue the Lord of the Rings analogs, um, these are
Ring wraiths
ring
for
wraiths,
sure.
but they're different. These Myrddraal are dangerous swordsmen. Really
Very.
only a blade master or an Aes Sedai can take out a Myrddraal. Their swords are poisonous, so if they even nick you, you can die in just horrible agony.
That
Um,
wound will fester in seconds.
Even brave men are frozen in fear by their glance, and they love to toy with their prey. They
hmm
move like serpents, and we actually got a pretty good glimpse of a Myrddraal in the trailer. Would you like to see it, Mary Lou?
I would love to see it.
Here we go. That was it.
Scary!
Uh-huh.
Not
Oh,
necessarily exactly the way
oh,
I
I can't
pictured
get it. I'm
them.
trying to catch it. I'm trying to catch it.
Catch them again.
Oh, yeah. This is not how I pictured it either. Because they're described canonically as like just like men, but with no eyes and with pale
Just looking
skin
like a
and
dude. This
cloaks that
looks more
don't
like
move.
a terrifying fish creature.
And I am going to pull up one comment here from Caitlin.
Mhm.
Always saw them like a terrifying Dementor.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe I'm getting from this creature,
Mhm.
actually. Um, I I don't know. I'm not sold on this depiction, but hey, we're not here to argue about depictions. We're here to educate you on the basics of Shadowspawn. And this right here is going to be the show's version of a Myrddraal.
Yep.
And
And
they
to be
scare me.
fair, I think this is really scary,
It's
right?
scary.
Like that is the Myrddraal are supposed to be scary. So if they had to like sort of amp up the theatrics, you know, the piranha teeth, the unhinged jaw, for
hmm
it to end up actually looking scary, then more power to them, right?
Yeah. And
Um
what's also scary about Myrddraal, though, unlike Trollocs are 10-foot tall, twisted animal men. Uh, Myrddraal, though, when they've got their cloak up, they kind of just look like regular guys, and they can actually speak. So,
mhm.
if you see a man in a black cloak coming into your inn or your tavern, and he's asking you questions, and you just get a weird feeling, it's because that might be a Myrddraal. Um, you just
Maybe
never
not in this
know.
show.
Maybe
I
not in
feel
this
like I
show.
would notice if this guy tried to talk to me in my inn.
Well, if
But
he's like
canonically, that is true.
if his upper face is in shadow, I think we do see a clip where his like mouth is closed and it looks like a normal mouth.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
they
to
better
hear
be
it.
able to talk. I'll be sad if they can't talk because I want to hear them.
I
Um,
definitely want to hear them. They're described as having voices like a snake slithering through dry leaves
yeah, or
or
like a
a
sword being.
sword dragging across
Oh,
stone.
yeah. They're sick. Um,
Terrifying.
so there's one more. These are the two Shadow Spawn that you have seen in the trailer.
hmm
There's one more Shadow Spawn we do want to talk about because we don't actually think it's very spoilery for the story, and it makes quite a few appearances alongside Trollocs and Myrddraal
hmm
um, in the first book. So we're going to talk about another kind of Shadow Spawn, which is more of the like scout class of
hmm
the Shadows forces, and that is the Draghkar.
The Draghkar.
And we don't have a trailer clip, and this is the best picture I could find of one.
Scary.
These are
Essentially,
okay.
the drag car is this weird, kind of vampire guy, this winged man who scouts out the, ground looking for targets of the Dark
Hmm.
One.
But these are not your Edward Cullen Twilight vampires.
No, no.
No, these are creepy guys with weirdly long limbs and fingers and
Weirdly.
big leathery wings.
And
And
huge black eyes.
yes, and as far as we know, they don't like speak, like they're not smart, they don't speak,
Not
but
smart.
they do sing. And
Mhm.
that might verge into spoiler territory. So we'll just leave you with that little tantalizing little teaser
Little
about
tidbit.
Draghkar.
Little
Um,
titty tidbit.
a little titty titty tidbit. You don't want to hear a Draghkar sing.
That's all we'll say.
That's all we'll
And you
say.
don't want him to kiss you.
Oh, you don't want him to kiss you. Um, that has been just a little taster of the wide world of Shadowspawn in the Wheel of Time. These are just some of the three basic baddies we think you'll definitely see in season one. And as more Shadowspawn come out in the show, we will then release like videos talking about them. And we'll also talk about them in our weekly episode reviews that we'll be doing live on twitch.tv/Maidens of the
So
Spear. And you can
excited.
also find them on our YouTube channel, Maidens of the Spear. And if you have read the books or you don't care about spoilers, you can also follow us on Twitter at Spear Maidens. But be careful with our Twitter because we won't be holding back as much about spoilers. Um,
Spoilerific.
so if you're worried about spoilers, YouTube is safer than Twitter.
Mhm.
But this has
Consider this
been
your first class in Shadowspawn 101.
mhm, Shadowspawn 101. And this has been Maidens of the Spear, where we talk about the Wheel of Time, and we hope you had a really good time.